Hello everybody, my name is Daniel Hill. I'm an EFT and NLP life coach, clinical hypnotherapist and Enneagram mentor. I was going through my vault of videos that I've made over the years in my iMovie on my iMac, and I discovered this video. I've got a number in there that I've filmed over the years, and as opposed to just watching it back, because I had edited it as well. It's 48 minutes long, and it's an EFT session with a guy that I met randomly, and I just got in a conversation with him one day, and I said what I did, and I said I could help him, and I said, well, I'll treat you for free. This was back 7 years ago, in 2014, if you let me film it. I filmed it, I edited it, and I never uploaded it. I don't know why. I have lots and lots of stuff and I don't always upload it. So maybe I'll find the reason why I didn't, but let's get to it and let's just play it, and I'm going to watch with you. So let's go now. Let's think about the issue that you've come to me for. The issue is the fear of
an operation.
Okay.
Going into hospital.
And so there's various aspects to that. So going into hospital, 0 to 10. 10 being really, really anxious.
Probably 8.
An 8. And the operation?
Of course, 10.
A 10. Okay,
Yeah.
so there are specifics. Have you had this all your life?
I suppose it just comes within worry, but it's just one of my fears.
Okay.
Or biggest fears.
Biggest fears. Okay, let's start working on here. Okay, so let's do EFT and let's start tapping on here. This is the karate checkpoint. So this is the fleshy bit on the hand.
Yep.
He's never done EFT before. He didn't even know what it was. Okay, that's it. You just rest your hand down here. And when you get pain, do you get any anxiety? Because you know that actually you're going to have an operation.
Yeah, I do worry about it. Yeah.
You can imagine that now. Does that make you nervous right now when you think about it?
I think it was a knee operation.
A little bit.
A little bit. Give me a 0 to 10 on it.
A 5.
A 5. Okay. And you're going to have local, or is that general anaesthetic? Are you knocked out for this?
Yeah, generally.
Okay, totally knocked out. Okay.
Sometimes I have thought about it, and I have had trouble sleeping over it.
Okay.
But that's on just various days, maybe, I don't know. It's maybe when I'm a bit bored or something.
Okay. And
And
your
I tend
mind
to
just
think-
gets very active.
Yeah. And I tend to think about it and get worked up a little bit about
Okay.
it.
All right. Okay. Just repeat after me. So it's about a 5. You can get.
Yeah.
Can you get it any higher than a 5, or is it about 5 when you think about it?
I wouldn't have said any higher, to be honest.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Let's work with that. Even though and repeat after me. And if anything that I say you don't agree with, let's just change it. Even though I have this 5 fear of going in hospital
Even if I have this 5 fear of being in hospital
and having a general anaesthetic
and having a general anaesthetic
and having 3 huge needles inserted into my
and
knee,
having 3 huge needles inside my knee,
and I won't know anything about it,
and I won't know anything about it,
and I won't know if I'm going to wake up,
and I won't know if I'm going to wake up,
and I've just got to completely let go,
and I've just got to completely let go,
and I'm really scared about that.
and I'm really scared,
I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it,
and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it,
but I don't really want to live with the pain,
but I don't want to live with the pain,
but I'm really scared,
but I'm really scared,
but I accept myself anyway.
I accept myself anyway.
Okay, top of the head, just start tapping in. Okay. This fear of going to hospital,
This fear of going in hospital,
this fear of this operation,
this fear of this operation,
okay. This 5 fear of going in hospital,
this 4 fear of going into hospital,
this fear of having this operation,
this fear of having an operation,
this 5 fear of going in hospital,
this 4 fear of going into hospital,
and this 5 fear of having this operation.
and this 4 fear of having this operation. I just think it'll get worse as you know, as I'm driving there in the morning.
Okay, alright.
To when maybe I'll get changed into the gown, and
Okay.
you know, then I'm laying in the bed. It'll just constantly.
Well, let's say we could reduce this 5 to a 0, then maybe on the day it will just instead of going from a 0 to 10, it would just go to 0 to 5, because we'd have taken half of it away.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. Okay.
This is really weird. I've only just shaved my beard off. The last time I had a beard was 7 years ago.
This 5 fear of driving then.
This
This
5
5
fear of driving now.
This 5 fear of knowing that I'm going to be knocked out,
This 5 fear of knowing I'm going to be knocked out.
knowing that I won't be in control,
No, I won't be in control.
knowing that they'll be inserting 3 huge needles into my knee.
Knowing that they'll be inserting 3 needles inside my knee.
And there won't be anything I can do about it.
And there won't be nothing I can do about it.
Okay, under the arm. And what else, when you think about that, when you think about the experience, what else makes it a 5? Take a deep breath in. See if you can get it as high as possible. What's happening right now? Top of the head. Just focus on your knee, focus about the anxiety. I want you to try and get the anxiety as high as possible. When you're tapping, it will be really hard because the tapping will actually begin to relax you. But I want you to, as much as you can in your brain.
Yeah, I was going to say, I do feel a little bit kind of relaxed. I don't know if it's because I'm tapping everywhere.
Okay, alright. It will be.
That's a natural phenomena. When you start tapping, you just relax.
You know,
relaxes the
I
body.
met you a week ago. It's not even that, 6 days ago. And you've come here, it's a new technique, everything's weird, but you're already going, I'm fairly relaxed. And it's weird because your brain is so used to doing anxiety when it thinks about this. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's a weird experience because you're going, where's the anxiety gone? Trying to get it back.
Yeah.
I think it's an Enneagram 5 as well. So he's a thinker.
Constantly tapping.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. The more that you tap, if you imagine doing this for a whole hour on a session with really deep chronic issues,
It would be naked.
well, you can swap, you can go from side to side, but it becomes quite emotionally exhaustive sometimes for some people. But on really, really deep issues, you can clear a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, just keep thinking about that knee. Keep thinking about, oh God, I'm going to have it operated on. Under the eye. Take a deep breath in.
I can't remember why he was going to have a knee
Driving
operation.
there. Just imagine driving there in your car in the morning going, right, I have a general anaesthetic on my knee. You were saying, oh, it was a 10 out of 10. Oh, I'm really not looking forward to it. Try and get the butterflies in your stomach. Think about driving there. You've driven to the hospital before. You know which hospital it is?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So imagine driving there. That's it, all the way. Top lip. Imagine meeting the people. There's a doctor that you're going to see, I'm sure.
You can do this with yourself, with anything that you're afraid of. The brain rehearses a worst case scenario. It rehearses the negative
thing. Are you
thing.
seeing it through your own eyes right now? Or are you
So
seeing
getting
it
him to see it in a
like
positive way, or at least getting him to see it as it is.
Okay. So through your own eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. Calm down.
His worst case scenario feeling,
Here,
we're
what-
going to convert that and create a future memory.
Hello, mister. How are you doing today?
And the brain doesn't know the
You're
difference
okay
between what's real and what's not
You haven't
real.
had
So
breakfast,
this
have
is
you?
called motor visual
You're literally
rehearsal.
driving in the morning to go to bed in the morning, you think?
Well,
Astronauts do this, you know. You see it as you wish to see it.
My dad will.
Feel it as
Okay,
you wish
so
to
imagine
feel
your dad
it,
driving.
and hear
Imagine
it
your
as you
dad
wish to
driving.
hear it.
Imagine the conversation. So again, you lose control right from the beginning of the thing because your dad's driving you. You're not even going to drive. No,
And you can just keep doing this over and over. I've done this on myself with every area of my life. But you have to keep doing it over and over. You're overlaying a
Driving
new
to the hospital.
positive pattern.
I want you to try and get as much anxiety going as possible. Try and
So I'm-
recreate this situation.
Yeah, so I'm trying to trigger
You
him
said
right
to
now.
me, whenever I think, oh, I'm like a bit bored, and I
You
can
want to
think
trigger
about this
someone
operation,
when
and
you want to
think
get
about
the
going to hospital.
the
That's when I get a
anxiety
bit anxious.
or the
I'm telling you, right, okay,
negative
well,
emotion
dedicate
really
a
high.
load of time right now to
so then you can tap on it and bring it down. Often when I'm working with clients, I only see clients online now these days
do
because
as
of
much as you
COVID,
can to make it higher and higher.
around the whole world and
Big knee,
up and down the
bring your
UK.
knee.
Even see some people locally.
They're going to give you
But
another
it's all
knee
online.
to completely
But you're
knock you out
triggering
as
them.
well.
Triggering them when you're using EFT
Take a
to
deep
the
breath in.
point that you trigger them and you don't get a response.
There you go.
You feel
Okay.
disconnected.
Okay. Can you
From the
compare
emotional
it to
charge.
It was a 5.
I mean, probably because I'm a bit more relaxed. I'd probably say a 3.
A 3.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
all right.
3.
Okay. What specifically about the actual procedure freaks you out?
I was going to be knocked out. I'm just when they're actually going to, do it.
Sure. Okay. This fear of the general anaesthetic. Just say it out loud. This fear of the general
Yeah.
anaesthetic.
Fear of the general answer.
This fear of getting sleepy.
The fear of getting sleepy.
It feels a bit like I'm getting sleepy now,
It feels like I'm getting sleepy now,
but I'm still in control.
but I'm still in control.
I'm still okay.
I'm still okay.
I could choose not to have this operation,
I can choose not to have this
Is that true?
operation. Yeah, well, yeah.
yeah, but I'm going to choose to have it.
But I'm going to choose to have it.
I'd rather just surrender
I'd
to
rather
this,
surrender this
to this experience,
to this experience
and just let go,
and just let go
and just trust.
and just trust.
Top lip, okay. Because it's just a general anaesthetic.
I suppose they did say one thing about trust.
Ah, go on. So what was that?
It's just trusting someone messing with kind of my body sort of thing.
Absolutely,
Do you know what I mean?
absolutely. Because of course, when your father's driving you and you're trusting him to drive you,
Yeah. Which, you know, I trust.
who you trust.
Yeah.
But statistically, if we're going to work on statistics, 10 people a day get killed on Britain's roads.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And the amount of people who die in operations compared to that. So that statistically, you're more likely to die going to the hospital, having a terrible accident.
I'm saying this, and I think
actually
he told me when I met him as a gardener that he had a fear of this general anaesthetic because he'd got a fear of not waking up. So I knew that already as a specific. Always work with a specific.
General anaesthetic. Okay, so you don't know what it's like, and you're going, "Go, what's going to happen?" Putting my trust in these other people.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Colin. Got to put my trust in other people.
I've got to put my trust in it.
Don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
Feel very afraid of that.
I feel very afraid of
It's a new experience for me.
It's a new experience.
Even though I'll be putting the trust in my father driving me there,
Even though I'll be putting my trust in my father driving me there,
I've got to put my trust in these people I don't know.
I've got to put this trust in people I don't know.
I don't know the anaesthetist.
Oh, anaesthetist, sorry.
He's the one who actually puts the measures out and puts the anaesthetic into you.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know him.
I don't know him.
I don't know.
Or her.
I don't know the surgeon.
I don't know the surgeon.
Do you know him? Have you spoken to the surgeon?
Or her.
The guy who's going to do it. He's a doctor.
Why am I? That's terrible, Daniel.
Uh,
It might be a
no, I
female.
haven't met him yet.
You haven't met him. Okay. So I won't know him.
I won't know him.
I won't know the nurses more than likely.
I won't know the This is more than likely.
This will be a new experience,
To be a new experience.
and I don't know what to expect.
I don't know what to expect.
I'll be knocked out.
I'll be knocked out.
It'll be rather like drinking a lot of alcohol.
To be rather like drinking a lot of alcohol.
This fear of putting trust in
I'm
other
just
people.
playing with him now.
Trust in other people.
This fear of putting trust in other people.
This is fear of putting trust in other people.
This fear of putting trust in other people.
This fear of putting trust in other people.
This fear of putting trust in professionals.
This fear of putting
It's an interesting one because
Do it every day.
most people who come with
It's a new experience for me.
come with issues, whether it's
This fear of having this
it doesn't really matter what the issue is, but this is a common one, that the fear of having to put trust in other people. And
How can I trust them? I don't even know
if
them.
you're going to put trust in someone else, people
Let's do this
thinking
one.
it's a
Just
huge
speak out.
deal, but
So just-
the
so
reality
just
is we
put
put
the little
trust
finger and the
in
ring
other
finger.
people
Just like that.
all day long.
Okay, so
The food that you eat, you don't check it all of the time. You don't know exactly where it's been grown. When you drive a car, you trust that someone on the other side of the road is going to stick to the other side of the road and not cross into you. There's an enormous amount of trust we put into other human beings in life. But it's weird, for some things like this, people just get overwhelmed. The other common one is flying. They're flying the plane. What, do you want to fly the plane? Well, no, because I can't fly a plane. So they're going to go on holiday, but they've got a fear of flying on a plane because they're going to have to give trust to someone else. But the reality is, statistically, because I know the unconscious is completely irrational, but if you're more at risk of taking the train or a taxi or a bus coach to the airport than crashing on a plane.
Then you collapse the belief that goes.
You've got to love the unconscious mind. Totally irrational.
This table over here was the belief,
Yeah.
and it was, which was giving it like a 10 out of 10, collarbone point. And it said, the fear was, you can't trust medical personnel or something like that.
Yeah.
But one of the legs would be, I don't know if I can let go and trust other people. Another leg would be, I've never met these people before. Another leg would be, what's general anaesthetic actually?
So I'm going for aspects
Another leg
here.
would be,
Go for aspects,
well,
and then the belief
can I be
is like a
sedated
tabletop.
or wake up? When you
Kick
put
the legs
each one
away.
of those is a fear that keeps the main fear going. And
Keeps
when
the
we
tabletop
start
in
to
place.
begin to, like, work on one of the legs, one of the main issues, the fear doesn't have the same. We begin to chop the legs down, and sometimes then the table begins to fall over by itself. And the main belief of, well, I'm not bothered about general anaesthetic, so that's one leg gone. Another one, well, I don't need to meet these people, they do this every day. I get on a bus or a train, I've never met that person. Statistically, I'm more than likely to have an accident sort of in a car or whatever.
He's doing a lot of thinking right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
And a
Yeah.
lot of this can go on
You
unconsciously.
know who you are. You're
The
driving
more
with,
that you're
when
tapping,
able to
the more
collapse
that
all
you're
of this,
descending
collapse off the
to a place of,
a lot less.
you go from beta
Fear.
to alpha
Fear.
to theta. And alpha and theta
Even
is
though
where
I'm
you can do
afraid.
really great work with the
I'm losing
unconscious.
control.
Delta is when you're asleep.
And having to have
Beta is
control
when
over
you're
talking.
talking right now. Beta. So alpha and theta. And when
And
you
I don't
tap,
know these people.
you descend to alpha and theta
But I
levels.
don't really want to live in pain.
But I don't really want to live in pain.
So I'm open to this operation.
I'm open to this operation.
But I know I have to trust these people.
But I know I have to trust these people.
And I've never had a general anaesthetic.
And I've never had a general anaesthetic.
And it's all a new experience for me.
And it's all a new experience.
And I don't know if I'll be able to trust.
And I don't know if I'll be able to trust.
But I accept myself in it.
But I accept myself.
Top of the head. This fear of having to trust them.
The fear of having to trust them.
This fear of it all going wrong.
The fear of it all going wrong.
And then making a mistake.
And then making a mistake.
The fear of not being able to wake up.
Not fear of waking up.
Does that trigger you at all when you think sort of like imagine sort of inside of your mind is this kind of this fear of God, what if they made a mistake? You know, I'd be completely zonked out. I'd be having a general anxiety. I wouldn't be able to wake up.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about it.
Okay.
But
The more I'm triggering you, the better, because we want to produce as much anxiety in your system to be able to diminish it and chop it down. So I'm going to sort of trigger you as much as I can, because the more anxious I can get you while tapping, you'll begin to calm when you're thinking about the worst things. So your worst case scenarios that you're running in your head, the more that we're triggering you and getting that emotional intensity to come up, and tapping at the same time, you're dispersing it, and you're being able to sort of relax and let go, and it's just like, eventually you get to this place of, oh, well,
yeah.
nothing I'll be able to do about it. Well,
Yeah,
just-
well that's the kind of way I'm going at the moment.
It's the way that you're going.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The more tapping you do, and we've been doing this for about 20 minutes or 25 minutes, the more that your whole nervous system begins to just go, oh,
Mm.
well, so what?
Yeah.
Nothing I'll be able to do about it. I don't want to live with this pain. It's worth the risk. Is that kind of like going on for you? Does it feel like it's worth the risk?
Well, yeah.
Because we're talking minimal risk here, aren't we?
Oh god, yeah.
Rationally, it's what does the risk feel like? 0.001%, or what does it feel like?
I think the risk of, how do you mean?
Well, I don't know. So your fear, when you think about it, it's sort of like,
Well, no, I've been told it's pretty risk-free.
yeah,
So, obviously, you know. And I mean, I know a friend who's a bit more than isn't he? And
okay,
he said it was a bit like nothing. It's just that well, his recovery was a lot longer than mine going to be. So.
okay. You just tune into it. See if you can, how high can you get this whole experience now? Take a deep breath in.
This
again.
is fear of the
Yeah,
future.
that's it. There we go.
He is
I
relaxing.
wouldn't say that high. I don't know if it's because I'm doing this.
Oh yeah, this will have nothing to do with it, I'm sure. Okay, of course it's got everything to do with this.
I'll just keep tapping myself all the way there.
Yeah, and it is. This is a technique that you can use on yourself, particularly if you're ever nervous in certain situations.
It's so strange when people have never tapped before, because their brains are like, where's the issue gone?
Collarbone as well, which is just below the collarbone point. All right. You can always tap around, so both sides, and then under the arm. If you just want to remember those points, some of my clients don't remember the whole technique and the procedure and everything. They just remember these points, and it just relaxes you. These points particularly hurt them for fear. So we're going to do them all. See if you can give me a 0 to 10. Think about it. You can have an operation. Think about that. Think about your knee, going in hospital.
Well, at this moment in time, I would say it was quite low.
Okay, so 0 to 10.
Say a 4.
A 4. Now that's gone up, hasn't it? You said it was a 3.
Oh, sorry, I mean just the whole experience.
Oh, so now we're going to the whole experience, and now there's other aspects here. So you think of the whole thing is now a 4.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So think about it in terms
I
of,
think it was an 8 to begin with.
again, what keeps it as a 4?
Did he say an 8? I think he said an
I think this tapping.
Okay, all right. But think about again one of the deep fears that keeps it as a 4. What makes it a 4 inside of your head?
So it makes it a 4 positively because of the tapping, but I'm looking for what is the negative thing you're still holding on to.
The main thing would be sending me to sleep and obviously, you know, the cuts and the actual procedure.
Okay, let's break this down. Okay, let's do this again.
So think of the table leg.
Keep working on
It's another cuts to the leg. I'm going to have to go to sleep, and they're going to cut my leg. So those are still parts of the table
Never
leg.
had that before.
Or still table legs. We need to chop them away.
I'm still anxious.
I'm still anxious.
And I'm still nervous.
I'm still nervous.
And I don't know if I will be on the day,
I don't know whether I will be on the day.
but I feel it now.
I feel it now.
And I feel anxious about having this experience.
And I feel anxious about having this experience.
Okay. Gonna have to be knocked out.
I'm going to have to be knocked out.
Never had that before.
Never had that before.
Gonna have to be knocked out.
Gonna have to be knocked out.
That was a
Never
little
have.
setup that I'm doing on the karate
So,
chop
yeah.
point
Gonna
just
have to
to
be
get
knocked out.
back into it again. You
And
don't always
never
have to
have
do that,
I've
but
never had that before.
Okay, keep taking deep breaths in. Under it. Never.
you
I'm
can
gonna have to
see
be
his
knocked out.
nervous system is being triggered right
I've
now.
never
He's
had
taking a
that
deeper
before.
breath.
I've never had that before.
Top lip. I'm gonna have to be knocked out.
I'm going to have to be knocked out.
And I've never had that before.
No, I've never had that before.
We're dealing with hot
Gonna have to be
topics
knocked
here,
out.
so it's a hot aspect.
I've never had that before.
No, I've never had that before.
Collarbone.
So you just
Never.
keep
I'm
staying
gonna
with
have to
that
be knocked out.
aspect of the issue
Deep breath in.
until it diminishes.
And I've never had that before.
I've never had that before.
Deep diaphragmatic breath. Really breathe into the fear.
I've never had that
And
before.
I've never had that before.
Top of the head.
Repeat
I'm gonna
it.
have to be
Stay
knocked
with
out.
it, so it almost
I've
becomes
never had that
boring.
And I've never had that before.
And the reason we keep doing it over and over again is that so that eventually it loses its intensity. It almost gets boring. It's just like, oh, I know what's coming next.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to be knocked out.
I'm actually knocked out.
And I've never had that before.
And I've never had that before.
So there. I'm gonna have to be knocked out.
I'm going to have to be knocked out.
I've never had that
I've
before.
never had that before.
Okay. I'm gonna have to be knocked out.
I'm going to have to be knocked out.
I've never had that
I've
before.
never had that before.
Okay. Gonna have to be knocked out.
I'm going to have to be knocked out.
I've never had that before.
I've never had that before.
Checkpoint. I'm gonna have to be knocked out.
No. I'm going to have to be knocked out.
And I've never had that
Look,
before.
the thing is that you begin to laugh at the issue, laugh at the aspect.
I've never had that before.
I've never had that before.
I do. I'm gonna have to be knocked
It
out.
loses its
I've
intensity.
never had that
And
before.
I've never had that before.
Okay, let's go down to the camera point here again. So just think about that again. So close your eyes.
Oh, I'm doing the 9 gamut here.
Okay, just look down hard left, just with your eyes, and look down hard right.
I will have explained
keep tapping
all of
there.
this.
Okay, keep tapping there, keep tapping.
Using the
keep
right hand
tapping.
side and the left hand
Just
side of the
follow
brain
my
hemisphere.
finger all the way around, keep tapping, keep tapping.
Also
keep
in the
tapping.
eye
You don't have to
movements.
be knocked out, just think about that.
Future
You
is
have to be
this
knocked out.
side,
Very
past
good.
is
Keep
this
tapping.
side.
Keep tapping. You're gonna have to
What's
be
your front
knocked out.
door look like?
Very good. Just follow my finger. Just think about it, you're gonna have to be knocked out. That's right. You're gonna have to be knocked out. That's right.
Imagining your partner saying, I love you.
Very good.
Ooh.
Keep tapping. Keep breathing into your heart. Just think about it.
Auditory,
You're gonna have a general
visual.
anesthetic. You're gonna be knocked out. You've never had that experience.
Oh, I'm doing, what am I doing here? I'm doing something from EMIT here, which is eye movement integration therapy. So I'm doing
Keep thinking about it.
extra. I use this from time to
Keep
time,
thinking about it. Gonna have to be knocked out.
and I still you can use this
Okay.
in a way of getting people online. You get people to look at a clock face, an imaginary clock
Keep
face,
breathing into your heart.
and you would
Gonna have to be knocked
say 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock,
out. That's it.
3 o'clock,
Okay.
6,
That's right.
7, 12, 6,
Okay. Very good.
9, 3.
Okay. And again. Da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Da, 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 da. Top of the head.
Oh,
We'll
I only
confuse
did a
you,
short
we wanna
happy
scramble that
birthday.
message. Okay. I'm gonna have to be knocked
That's
out.
the right hand side of the
I've
brain.
never had that before.
I've never had that before.
Collarbone. Sorry.
Counting is the
Eyebrow.
logical left
Gonna have to be
hand
knocked out.
I'm going to have to be knocked out.
And I've never had that
I've
before.
never had that before.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to be knocked out.
I'm going to have to be knocked out.
And I've never had that before.
I've never had
You're really confusing the unconscious, creating different neural pathways.
So there. Gonna have to be knocked out.
I'm going to have to be knocked out.
And I've never had that
And
before.
I've never had that before.
Chin point. Gonna have to be knocked out.
I'm going to have to be knocked out.
But I've never had that
I've
before.
never had that before.
Collarbone. I'm gonna have to be knocked out.
I'm going to have to be knocked out.
I've never had that before.
I've
I
never
almost
had
want to tap myself.
Gonna have to be knocked out.
I'm going to have to be knocked out.
And I've never had that before.
And I've never had that before.
Are you almost getting bored of having to do this?
Yeah,
That's
bit
monotonous.
kind of drain sort of
Yeah.
thing, like.
Okay. But can you get any anxiety? Because originally it was like a 4 of, I'm going to have to be knocked out. I've never had that before, which is what you said.
Yeah.
I think I used your words.
Yeah.
And now, has it got the same kind of emotional intensity? You think, I'm going to have to be knocked out. Does it still feel as anxious?
I feel less. I don't. Well, so I think this is taking a lot out of me.
Yeah,
So,
it does. But what it takes out of you is the stress. It takes
Yeah.
out of you the fear.
And when that goes, you almost want to drop.
See how high you can make it. You're gonna have to be knocked. Just this one aspect. I'm gonna have to be knocked out, and I've never had that before. Just see how high you can get that. Just think about it. Take a deep breath into it.
He's been running so much anxiety for a long time. When that begins to go, you do feel like
Before,
a kind of
you were really anxious about that.
oh.
I think right at the beginning, it's like if you think about 10 out of 10 or what is that from 0 to 10? Just tune into it.
He's a real thinker. He's an Enneagram 5, I'm pretty sure.
Just count backwards from 10.
He's being really
Count back
investigative
from
with his
100,
thoughts
and then you count back and you usually get to about 92.
and his
You just-
feelings. 5s tend to think feelings.
I mean, just that bit. I'd probably say 4 to 5.
Okay,
Just on that one bit.
okay.
That's,
And that's because
one aspect.
you think
Because I've never had it before.
Okay,
And I
right.
don't know how it's going to make me feel.
Okay. You're just very sleepy,
Yeah.
which is a bit like this.
He's afraid of a general anaesthetic. He's never had
Top
one
of the
before.
head. Okay. It's 4 or 5.
It's 4 or 5.
Gonna have to have this general
You
anaesthetic.
go through the same process again.
Never had it before.
Never had it before.
I'm gonna get sleepy
I'm going to get sleepy.
and I won't be in control.
I won't be in control.
But that's a good thing.
Well, that's a good thing.
I don't want to be awake during this operation.
I don't want to be awake when I'm having this operation.
Or do you want to? Does part of you go, oh yeah, I wish I could be?
No.
Okay, alright. Absolutely. Alright. So, all that will happen
So all that will happen.
is that I'll have a bit of a snooze
So I'll have a bit of a snooze.
and it will feel that I'm just really sleepy.
And it will just feel like I'm really sleepy.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
Even though I'm worried.
Even though
Maybe that's okay.
maybe that's okay.
Maybe I can live with this 4.
Maybe I can live with
4.
this. 4.
Yeah. Maybe I'll be okay.
Maybe I'll be okay.
Maybe when I wake up,
Maybe I'm
I'll go, what was all that about?
not all that late.
That was completely fine.
That's completely fine.
Maybe I'll be completely okay.
Maybe I'm completely okay.
Maybe it's because I don't know what's going to happen.
Maybe so I don't know.
Yawning is
I
it's
haven't
what an
had
EFT
this
yawn.
experience
I don't know. No, I
It's
haven't had this.
opening up your energies.
But maybe I'll be okay.
Maybe I'll be okay.
Maybe I can just let go.
Maybe I can just let go.
Maybe I can trust.
Maybe I can
I
trust.
trust all the time.
I trust all the time.
I just don't realise I'm doing it.
Just don't realise I'm doing it.
I've never trusted other people to do this before.
I've never ever trusted people to do this before.
But maybe I'll be alright.
But maybe I'll be
I'm doing both sides. You can do both sides.
My
Do
mate's
one
had it.
side or the other side. Doesn't
And
seem
he's
to matter.
alright. So maybe I'll be alright.
But maybe I'll be alright.
Top of the head. Alright. It's 4 or 5.
It's 4 or 5.
Maybe I can let it go.
Maybe I can.
More
It's
EFT
4 or 5.
yawns.
It's 4 or 5.
Maybe I can let it go.
I develop
Maybe it'll be a
water
really
in my
nice
eyes as
experience.
well. It's not I don't cry. It's not that I'm crying. But
Maybe I'll,
it's the
really
teardrops
enjoy
open
it.
slightly.
Maybe I'll really enjoy it.
Maybe it'll be okay.
Maybe it'll be okay.
Maybe I can just relax into it.
Maybe I can just relax into it.
The opposite is. The opposite is.
The opposite is
I could resist it.
I can resist it.
And I don't want to resist it.
And I don't want to resist
I
it.
don't want this pain anymore.
And I don't want this pain anymore.
So maybe I could just really enjoy the whole thing.
So maybe I can just enjoy this whole thing.
Maybe I don't need to get anxious at all.
Maybe I don't need to get anxious as well.
Maybe I can just enjoy people looking after me.
Maybe I can enjoy people just looking after me.
With my
For a
eyes
change.
For a change.
Maybe that would be okay.
Maybe that'll be okay.
Maybe they do this every day
Maybe they just do it every day.
and this will be very routine for them.
And this will be very routine.
Maybe I could let go.
Maybe I could let go.
Maybe I could trust.
Maybe I could trust.
Maybe I could actually enjoy this experience.
Maybe I could enjoy this experience.
Maybe that would be different for me.
Maybe this could be different for me.
Maybe if I allowed myself to enjoy it,
Maybe if I allowed it,
it would be even easier.
it would be even easier.
Have you had a short stay in hospital before?
No.
No, he's never been to hospital. I was going to say one thing. When you're working as a therapist and you're working with really deep issues with people, which happens sometimes, particularly in the first few sessions,
Is it?
Um,
You probably won't get much hospital food.
it's really
No,
helpful
I think
if you're
both
tapping on
of
yourself
them.
and they're tapping on their self, on the other side of the screen, because
Well, yeah.
I'm not taking it on because you're keeping the energy open,
This fear of a general anaesthetic.
This fear of general anaesthetic.
This fear of being put out.
This fear of being put out.
This fear of a general anaesthetic.
This fear of general
This
anaesthetic.
fear of being put out.
This fear of being put out.
Okay. This fear of a general anaesthetic.
This fear of general anaesthetic.
This fear of being put out.
This fear of being put out.
Oliver, this fear of a general anaesthetic.
This fear of general
This
anaesthetic.
fear of being put out.
This fear of being put out.
This fear of a general anaesthetic.
This fear of
Oh,
general
good.
This
You're
fear of being knocked out.
Ugh.
This fear of being knocked up.
Maybe I'll be alright.
Maybe I'll be alright.
Maybe I'll be just fine.
Maybe I'll be just fine.
Camera point here, okay. So tap there. Close your eyes.
That's all
Open
good.
your eyes. Look down hard left. Look down hard right. Brilliant. Keep tapping. Keep tapping all the way around. Oh my god, getting really good at this. Keep thinking about it. Gonna have a general anaesthetic, gonna be knocked out. Very good. We're gonna do a bit more of this again. Just think about being knocked out. Just think about that going in, think about the needle going in. They're gonna say to you, right Stuart, yeah, you're gonna feel sleepy.
I'm really triggering him right now as much as possible.
100, 99, 98, 97, 96, 95, 94. Oh yeah, and maybe you'll just be so tired and you're so, oh God, I can't bother to count anymore. Oh. And then the next thing you know is you're like, right, we're all done, you're back in the
Still
room,
tapping it.
okay, you're okay, everything went really fine. That's it, just keep staying there. Keep taking breaths in, okay. That's it. The experience, just imagine the whole experience, very good. That's it, that's it. Just keep staying, keep tapping, breathe it through, breathe it through, breathe it through. Very good. Take another deep breath in. Very good. And okay, and we go da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Da 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 da.
I'm surprised I'm not doing the full happy birthday there, because I do now. That's not. I wouldn't think that's enough, Daniel. Daniel of 7 years ago. I think we should have done a little bit more.
Give it a 2.
A 2.
He's now to a 2, like, and there's a tear coming from me. But I'm,
My mom's just.
But that's exactly what we want, because we want to drain,
I
literally.
don't think I'll go on with the tapping.
Pardon?
I don't think I can do any more tapping.
You can, do your other hand. Do your other hand. Is it because your arm's getting hurt or painful, or is it?
No, I think it's just. I don't know. I feel
woozy.
a bit. You know, in my own world.
Yeah, but that's really good. I think you're a head type like me, so you spend a lot of time in your head. You think a lot.
Yeah.
And when you begin to tap, you begin to relax, and you just
Yeah.
the thing is that what happens often is that when we're in our heads and we feel like stress, on some level we can feel safe because we go, well, I've got my defences up, and it feels, you've just done a yawn. Now it could be the end of the day and you're doing a yawn, but in EFT we call that an EFT yawn, and we're just letting things go. When we let our fears go, we end up sort of yawning. Sometimes you can have little tears coming out from your eyes. It's not that you're crying, it's just that it's like an emotional release.
Yeah, I mean, I always do feel a bit.
Yeah. But when you've been tapping this amount of time under here, this was what would happen also if you had an acupuncture session, which you probably never had in the world, have you?
No.
Never had before. You'd go and have an acupuncture session, and you'd come out from the acupuncture session and you'd be like, wow, yeah, I feel really spaced out, I feel not really good. But you're diffusing all of that stress in your head, and your brain is not used to feeling very relaxed. And you're used to having up your defences. So you do more anxiety in your head, and you feel that if you're doing more anxiety, then you're safe, because it's it's like your wall of protection. It's like your fortress, and that's your moat almost around you to protect you. And there's a fear of, oh, well, if I begin to relax and let go, hang on, we could be attacked by anybody, and I better stop. I can't get too relaxed. I can't sort of take the defences down too much. And so we can end up feeling quite relaxed, but going, oh, I'm not sure about this relaxed feeling. How do I know I'm not going to be hurt by anybody, or sort of, because does that make sense? If you've got that anxiety there, the anxiety is your protection, and you're used to that, because you also said that you'd get a lot of anxiety in life anyway.
this is common for almost everybody. They're used to having a higher defense system, and when you start relaxing, it's nice, but then there's a secondary reaction to that, which is I'm letting my guard down. But you just keep working through the layers of that.
A 2.
This is very common with everyone, even serious disease. In fact, especially serious disease.
You probably will
ME, Parkinson's, MS.
Because you're not used to relaxing so much. And this is what happens when you tap. It's like, oh, I feel like pretty relaxed. It's a weird sensation. But it's actually a normal sensation.
Yeah. It's kind of feel like kind of numbs or things like.
But what you're numbing is the fear. But you're not numbing it actually, you're diffusing it. You're letting it go. It's like, you saw the video of the lady who held the tarantula. You said, well, what would happen in a week's time? Would it come back? No. She would be able to, if she held the tarantula again in a week's time, more than likely she'd be extremely relaxed again. And be able to
I showed him a video from Channel 5 and in Channel 5 in Britain, which was a woman tapping and then being able to hold a tarantula, and she was afraid of the tarantula first of all. It's on my YouTube channel.
You've created in your mind now plenty of neural pathways which have got really relaxed endings to them.
He's just questioning, well, I'm relaxed now, but will I be later? How will I be later? But he's a thinker. He's probably a 5 with a 6 swing. So
driving to the hospital. Now you're kind of like.
He's a thinker. I don't even know what his name is. Can't remember. 7 years ago. So he's a thinker. He's an analyzer, but then he's a questioner, and does worst case scenario. I'm a 6 with a 5 wing. I'd say he's a 5 with a 6 wing.
What's the highest thing out of all of this that you could get up?
Probably, well, no, I'm not going to know nothing about it, but what they're going to do, the cuts, etc.
Okay. Well, they're professionals. They've had a look at it. They've done X-rays. So it's the fear that they might do something wrong, or is it? It's actually the fear of them cutting into your leg.
Yeah, the fear of cutting it.
Fear of cutting it.
Yeah.
So let's just work on that, and let's just work on just a couple of points. So I want you to have more of a cognitive understanding of what's happening. So let's do the anxiety points. So is there anxiety when you think about them cutting in?
There is, but like sitting here now, there probably isn't. I think it's all this tapping.
And you're just relaxed about it. So what's the highest bit when you think about them? They're going to cut into your leg, Stuart. 0 to 10.
At this moment in time.
Yeah, that's
Question no higher than 5, and that would be.
yeah.
I mean 4 maybe.
And that's weird for you because normally you'd think, God, they're actually going to take a scalpel and carve into me, and yeah.
I think it's just this tapping.
It is, and it's brought it down. Okay, I want to see if we can bring that from a 5 and even lower. Okay. So what is it? Is it the fact that the knife, the scalpel, the cut? What is it?
I'm getting more and more and more specific.
No.
Here we are. The knife. That's a table leg.
Even though they're going to put
It's got to kick the table leg away.
I can let it go.
I can let it go.
Even though they're going to put a knife in me.
Even though they're going to put a knife in me.
I can let it go.
I can let it go.
Okay, under the arm. Even though they're going to put a knife in me.
Even though they're going to put a knife in me.
I can let it go.
I can let it go.
It's 5 fear of them putting a knife in me.
It's 4 fear of putting a knife in me.
To take the pain away.
To take the pain away.
Thank goodness. It's 5 fear
It's 5 fear.
of them actually putting a knife in me.
Not actually putting a knife in me.
It's 5 fear.
It's 4 fear.
It's 5 fear.
It's 4 fear.
They're putting a knife in me.
Putting a knife in me.
But they're going to take the pain away.
They're going to take the pain away.
It's 5 fear of putting a knife in me.
It's 4 fear of putting a knife in me.
Maybe I'll be okay.
Maybe I'll be okay.
Maybe I won't feel a thing.
Maybe I won't feel a thing.
I won't feel a thing.
I won't feel a thing.
I'll be having a general anaesthetic.
I'll be having a generalised.
I'll be off with the fairy somewhere.
I'll be with the virus and
But they're going to put a knife in me.
But they're going to put a knife in me.
They're actually going to put a proper knife in me. They're going to put a scalpel in me.
They're going to put a scalpel.
They're going to cut my leg.
They're going to cut my leg.
They're going to cut deep into 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 my leg.
Alright, okay. Yeah. They're going to cut deep into my leg.
They're going to cut deep into
Take
my
a
leg.
deep breath in. Yeah, okay. Is it still a 4 or 5? Just think about it.
I think it is edging down, but I think it's just, I'm not feeling that kind of relaxed, I think.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? If you kept doing
if you're constantly doing this for ages, you just, I think you'd just fall asleep.
Some people, they get very, very drowsy at the
Yeah.
end of it. But I just want to keep taking a little bit more of an edge. I'm happy when people go a 3 and an under. Because then it's like manageable. I think, 0 means it's gone. A 1, 2, or a 3. 4, it's sort of like,
Yeah, I mean, I think it will eventually go that way.
Yeah.
I think obviously the more I do this,
Yeah.
but I think it just take quite a bit to do it.
Okay.
I think I'd just fall asleep doing it, to be honest.
And you would, more than likely, if you're having a good response to relaxing. So let's just do another 5. Can we do another 5 minutes?
Go on then.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I'll do my best.
All right. Okay. Okay. Let's do let's do these points under the arm here. Okay. Just take a deep breath in. They're gonna have to they're gonna take a scalpel to my knee.
They're going to take scalpel to
Top of the head. They're gonna take a scalpel to my knee.
They're going to take scalpel to my knee.
Okay. They're gonna take a scalpel to my
They're
knee.
going to take the scalpel to my knee.
They're gonna cut my knee.
They're going to cut my knee.
Side of the arm. They're gonna cut my knee.
They're going to cut my knee.
Okay. They're gonna cut my
They're
knee.
going to cut my knee.
Okay. Top lip. They're gonna cut my knee.
They're going to cut my knee.
They're gonna cut my knee.
They're going to cut my knee.
To take the pain away.
Take the pain.
They're gonna cut my knee.
They're going to cut my knee.
They're gonna cut my knee.
They're going to cut my knee.
To take the pain away.
To take the pain away.
Under the arm. They're gonna cut my knee.
They're going to cut my knee.
To take the pain away.
To take the pain away.
Okay. They're gonna cut my knee.
They're going to cut my knee.
To take the pain
To
away.
take the pain away.
Eyebrow. They're gonna cut my knee.
They're going to cut my knee.
To take the pain
To
away.
take the pain away.
Side of the eye. They're gonna cut my knee.
They're going to cut my knee.
To take the pain
To
away.
take the pain away.
And that's a good thing.
And that's a good one.
And they're gonna do it while I'm having a general anaesthetic.
And they're going to do it while I'm in general anaesthetic.
Okay. Top lip. They're gonna cut my knee.
They're going to cut my knee.
To take the pain
They're
away.
going to take the pain away.
They're gonna cut my knee.
They're going to cut my knee.
To make my knee better.
To make my knee better.
They're gonna cut my knee.
They're going to cut my knee.
To make my knee better.
To make my knee better.
Okay. Under the arm. They're gonna cut my knee.
They're going to cut my knee.
To take the pain away.
To take the pain away.
They're gonna cut my knee.
They're going to cut my knee.
Okay. They're gonna cut my knee.
They're going to cut my knee.
Cut my knee. Cut my knee.
Cut my knee.
This cutting my knee.
He's cut my knee.
This cutting my knee.
He's cut my knee.
These surgical cuts in my knee. Is it one cut or a number of cuts? Do you know?
Probably 3 to 4.
Okay. These surgical cuts.
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 Okay. Top lip. These surgical cuts.
These surgical cuts.
Just noticed I'm not yawning now.
Cuts.
Surgical cuts.
Surgical cuts.
And how do you feel when you're saying that? Is it okay?
I'd released quite a bit of stuff by yawning.
I think I've been doing it so long, I'm kind of...
Spacey.
Yeah, I'm a bit very relaxed, I think.
And that's
I'm kind of like...
That's okay. And you've had a long day as well. And you worked today, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Collarbone. We'll just do a couple more minutes. Okay. These surgical cuts in my knee.
These surgical cuts in my knee.
Take a deep breath in. Let go. Okay, under the arm. Surgical cuts in my knee.
Surgical cuts in my knee.
Okay, let's do one more of this. So start tapping here. That's okay. Okay, look at it and close your eyes. Open your eyes. Look down our left. Look down our right. Okay, follow my fingers all the way around one way. Keep tapping. Think about surgical cuts being in your knee. That's right. That's right. Keep thinking about surgical cuts in your knee.
If you're going to do this yourself as well, the way that I do it sometimes is just blink rapidly and just get my eyes to go all over the place.
Surgical cuts. That's right. Surgical cuts in your knee. Surgical cuts. Surgical cuts. That's right. And back out again. Just think about surgical cuts in your knee. Keep tapping. Doing really well, Stuart. Easy now. Surgical cuts in your knee. Surgical cuts in your knee. Surgical cuts in your knee. That's breathe in. Just stop tapping for a moment. You've been tapping for a long time. Ground your feet, feel your feet, put your feet on the floor.
So he's an Enneagram type 5. Fives need to ground themselves. Enneagram types 4s, 5s and 9s need to ground themselves.
You're okay, ground yourself.
But we all need that anyway, so it's really useful to do that. Imagine you've got roots coming out through your feet.
Before you drive backhand. So, okay. So just think about that. Sort of, you're going to have surgical cuts in your knee. Does it feel like a 4, or is it moved down to sort of like a bit less?
I'll say so, yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? You can't really get directly into the fear now, or can you?
Yeah.
You're sort of spacey.
Yeah, I'm a bit trying a bit.
But that's good.
But yeah, I feel a bit.
When you wake up tomorrow morning and you've got, you feel more of yourself again, and you kind of like you're not so tired, you will you'll go and think about it, and more than likely it'll be gone, or at least it'll be significantly less.
Yeah. I think it's just because obviously we keep repeating it.
Yeah.
It's kind of just you kind of drill it into yourself.
Yeah.
And I think you get that bored of it sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. There's war trauma with the guy who went through terrible stuff. But he ends up talking about the war trauma and the stuff that's happened. And this is classic with lots of people about PTSD. And they're bored. They're bored of talking about these terrible atrocities, these terrible things that happen to them, because it's like it's just not there. It's not in their emotional landscape anymore. It's just well, yeah. It's not really an issue anymore.
It sounds awful, but it's actually true. They're no longer traumatized by it, and they can almost be bored of talking about their friend dying or the fact that they had to kill someone. But they've suffered trauma for a long time. And you work this way and you just get saying the aspects over and over it, and there's a boredom that comes with it. And that means the unconscious is really beginning to let it go.
Dialoguing with them when they're very, very relaxed. But you bring them out of hypnosis and they'd be in exactly this kind of place where you are right now. And they'd be like, feel a bit groggy, kind of like, yeah, how do you feel right now about having the operation? And they'd go, well, yeah, not really so bothered about it. And it's that kind of what you feel. It's not like
I mean, that's all I can think about at the minute is what we've been doing. Well, obviously all this operation.
Think about it as much as you can right now that you're gonna have this operation to do it. You are really worried about having it.
Oh, Stuart.
Can you get at all worried about it right now?
Not like no, I can't.
And that is how this works.
It's a
It's
success.
just all this tapping and just keep repeating things.
He's really analysing it. Fives will just get into this place where they struggle to get into their
I'd like to
feelings.
come back
So he's just
and,
thinking about it. And it's like, well, just get into the
session or something. When you find out your date, because I would love for you to come back and say that you've had the experience of the operation, and you come back and just go, this would be great for the video, for you to go, it's fine.
Yeah.
I had the operation.
I don't even think I've got his number anymore.
How nervous were you? He went, oh, driving to the hospital with my dad driving me there, I was a bit nervous, but it's really weird. I was all right. And then actually when I had a general anaesthetic, I was like...
I think I expected him to give me a call and he never did. He might have needed another session. This is also something else that's important. When clients don't pay for sessions and they don't fully commit to overcoming their issues, you sometimes don't get as good results. But when someone pays to get over the issues that they're limiting them, there is a real wish and determination to do so. And you get fantastic results that way. But if it's kind of wishy-washy, or I've been dragged here, or oh, I don't really know if it's going to work, they're not really fully committed and invested to letting it go. There's more kind of an investment in keeping the problem.
I don't know, I feel a bit more focused sort of thing.
You feel focused?
Yeah, it's like my head's just like constantly straight forward.
Yeah. Whereas normally it's what?
Maybe I didn't upload it because he didn't come back.
Brilliant. Is it a good drained? Do you feel you could sleep well tonight?
Oh, well, I think so, yeah. I mean, the thing is, I was a bit of sleep earlier.
Oh, did you?
I always seem to sleep when I come back
Okay.
off work, and then I bugger to get sleep on the night.
Okay. Well, more than likely after this, you'll sleep really well. Most people usually sleep deeply.
Yeah, I definitely feel it.
Brilliant.
Need to shake my head, I think.
Brilliant. Well, you can do that when you go out and have some fresh air, sort of. But you feel. What would you say on a 0 to 10 right now? Just to leave the end of the video. How do you feel right now? Just in numbers.
On overall, or just on the certain things, or
Whichever.
I'll probably say a 3 to 4. But I think if I was to continue doing the tapping techniques and stuff, I think it'd probably bring it down.
Even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it just, some people it probably take a little bit more, a little bit less. It just comes down to you personally.
It does. Yeah. It is very, very true.
So, yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Stuart.
No worries.
Okay, so that was from 7 years ago. Never seen that since. It was stored there with lots of my other videos, and it was good to see that again. I would imagine he would have had some success. What kind of success, I'm not sure, but like I said, if you're invested in getting rid of an issue, you can overcome things. It's having that commitment, and I'd imagine that he might not have wanted to be on film again. I can't remember. Maybe I did message him, and maybe he did get in contact. I don't know really what happened. But what you can see there is an 8 out of 10 issue. And at the end of this, which is just under an hour, he's a 3 or a 4. And like he does say, if I continue to tap, I feel that these issues would drop. He probably did tapping, because I gave him the technique and said where the points are. And it wouldn't surprise me if he went away and tapped and tapped on the day. In fact, did he say he was? I have a feeling he texted me and said he was tapping on the day. I think I saved this because he said he would come back and do a testimonial, and I forgot about it. I see so many clients, and this is another point. People ask me sometimes when I upload, because I don't upload that many EFT videos anymore, and they, oh, do you still use EFT? In every session I use EFT, but I specialise in using so many different things that it's just one modality. But do I use EFT a hell of a lot? Yes. But do I use the Enneagram with that? Yes. Do I use NLP? Yes. Do I use clinical hypnosis? Yes. Do I use a life coaching within what I do? Yes. It's all about effectively helping someone get over their challenge to get to an outcome. And I will use whatever I can. But I would say almost every client I use EFT. Okay, so that was interesting to see. I hope you enjoyed that. Many of you might well have stayed to the end. Who knows? Put some comments down if you feel you'd like to. Please like, subscribe, share. See you again soon. Bye for now.